Hey guys, Tarke here, and I thought to make things interesting, especially after the last few videos of talking about difficulty and stuff, that I'd do my first red map of the league, and it just so happened to roll with Enfeeble, with 60% increased effect. So let's see how the non-crit build, this really should be a crit build, let's see how it handles the Enfeeble red. I sometimes find it fun just to do things like this, especially around league start when people are struggling with their builds. Generally makes them feel a little bit better if they're like, well, Tarke's struggling also. Okay, so let's have a look. See, was one trap enough to kill white mobs? It is still enough to kill white mobs. Okay, that's good to know. I probably just need to double throw on blues and res. That plus a seismic, yeah. Okay, so a seismic and a right is enough for you. That's good to know. So we got my Uberlab earlier today. I think this is actually the first map I've run since getting Uberlab, actually, funnily enough. So we can start seeing how well the seismic trap cooldown feels now that we've got the extra 50% on there. Seems pretty decent. If I was playing in Trade League, I'd probably try and just make a pure seismic trapper. The things you need to make that work is Helm enchant, and then the anomalous quality on seismic trap gives CDR. If you stack those two, that would probably be enough, but you could then go further with... you could go further with cooldown recovery on belt. Tinker Skin has a little bit of CDR on it, and at that point you've definitely got enough. So, quantity of logbooks is probably what we're going for. Can I get all three with that? No, not quite. Okay, let's just go for the logbooks and the rarity. Okay, and then additional currency item seems pretty good. And then we can go into the fractured items. Okay. Let's kind of... I think I'll circle back around for that. So let's just go for there. Again, the important thing is just to make sure that you're clocking the statues and prioritize the best statues first, because again, you need to do them in order for it to count. We've got 2 left. Could grab all of those. Actually, let's go this way. We'll grab all of those, and then we'll grab these dudes over here. Cool. That should hopefully give us a logbook, the way we've set that up. And let's see how the seismic trap handles it. It still seems to be going pretty well. Good. I'm still messing around with the triple Quicksilver setup, as you can see. I've been kind of liking it. People have been memeing it a little bit, but I honestly think that stacking up flasks isn't the worst thing to do if you're going to do the whole increased effect thing on them. Obviously, you can still make lots of different setups. I have 100% uptime on flasks. There's lots of shenanigans you can do with the increased flask charges gain stacking with either Pathfinder or Scion. Overflowing Chalice, I haven't got one because SSF, or just having enough monsters in your map and clearing at a decent pace and just maintaining everything that way. But I kind of like that there's progression with the flasks in the sense that you have to think a little bit about your setup. You know, you don't just automatically get it for free, and the reward for making a very good character would be having very good uptime of your flasks. So that kind of makes sense. Yeah. We'll have to see how they feel with the ailment changes, but honestly, I'm pretty fine with the flask changes thus far. I haven't had that many issues with it. And with the ailment changes, hopefully the people who are really struggling in the system will then kind of be like, okay, I get it now, sort of thing. But, yeah, it's still too early, really, to give full judgment on a lot of these things. I was hoping to get to, like, tier 16s and running a couple of bosses where I was going to give my feedback on it. And just one thing to clarify from my previous video where I spoke about, and I feel like a lot of people understood this, but I saw 1 or 2 comments which were taking my argument sort of in bad faith. In the previous video talking about the upcoming changes, I said that I was quite disappointed that myself and a bunch of other content creators who were asked to provide feedback all said whatever our feedback was, and pretty much unanimously said when it came to the flask and the ailment stuff, it's really too early to say we want to wait a bit longer before we give our thoughts. And that wasn't a case of me being angry that GGG made changes without listening to us. It was a case of if people who like play the job for a living, as we often like to get reminded as much, feel like we haven't played enough to make an informed decision, then the vast majority of people who are leaving their valuable feedback have probably played significantly less. Now, obviously, there are people who played significantly more. There's always people who watch my content and they're like, day one, yo, just got Uber Elder down. And there are people who play in Stand, and obviously if you're just taking a pre-existing character in Standard, then, you know, you can see what it's like on a pre-existing build. But again, I feel like even with the Standard players, if you're just taking your pre-existing setups and testing out in maps, you're not like learning with the new system. And I was kind of, my frustration was it felt like a lot of the changes were coming in before people were trying to like adapt with it on that side of things. So that I just found a little bit annoying. But seems to be that the Seismic Trap is still going smoothly. That is Seismic Trap just on a 4-link in. I got a pair of +2 AoE gem Unveil. Very nice pair of gloves as well, because they've got the hybrid life on there with a double resist. I need to unlock the better life craft so I can get another 18 flat life. And then we picked up this 6-link. I can't remember if I had this in the last video or not. I got a 6-link rare from Einhar, and it happened to give me a Cutthroat Garb, which is like a decent evasion base. So then I just threw a couple of essences in it and then landed on 120 life with a little bit of Chaos Res, and I'm like, that'll do. And for my links, we're running Trap, Cluster Trap, Exsanguinate, Brutality, Controlled Destruction, and Chain. I'm not running trap damage in this setup, because even though it would be 10% more damage than either Controlled Destruction or Brutality, it comes with a less trap throwing speed multiplier, which I just really don't want. And as you can see, I still have enough damage with my currently absolutely awful gear that I can get through the content fine. And I guess also one point I will add on as a caveat to that. I know that traps didn't get hit. Like, that was kind of the whole point, is traps were considered by many to be slightly underperforming. So the way that GGG balances, they did very little to directly nerf the trap supports, although all trap builds did take a slight hit because their links like Cold Pen or whatever got hit ever so slightly. But I do feel like it is slightly worth pointing out, I'm playing a slightly memey setup. Like, it's good, it's working well for me. But some of the comments I've been receiving recently would imply that I was doing like flavor of the month rerolling, and I'm not someone who always plays traps every single league and isn't purposely trying experimental stuff at the moment. Like, come on, guys. Like, there's bad faith arguments and there's bad faith arguments. But anyway, so we're still using this terrible thing. I need to upgrade it. I just haven't really felt the need to upgrade it yet. Ideally, Cold Down Point in my end game. I picked up a couple of wands, which were okay-ish, just in the sense of they had a decent fizz dot and I could craft spell damage on there. But yeah, they require more int than I have, so I just haven't bothered working that out. I could probably just do something with, once I unlocked the fizz dot craft, I could just probably like unveil some fizz dot weapons, which would be an upgrade. Otherwise, I would probably do the Essence trick. If you get level 1 wands, use Essence of Woes on them for the spell damage. High chance that you get +1 to Fizz Gems, and then craft Fizz Dot Multi. I should probably just do that now. I haven't got the Fizz Dot Multi craft, but even just spell damage +1 gems would be a significant upgrade. But I'll get around to that when I get around to that. Still using this shield that we got off the Gambler Bro. Same amulet, I think. Same rings, I think. Same belt. And then I got an Itziri step off of Itziri. Low rolled on the spell dodge, but, you know, pretty good life roll, so happy with those for now. And we're just doing triple Quicksilvers of Adrenaline. I've only got increased effect on 2. This one is charge recovery, but I want to have full Alchemist Quicksilver Adrenaline with increased effect. And then we're doing Freeze and Corrupting Blood. My skill tree kind of looks like this. I haven't taken a Wind Dancer. I don't know if I even will take Wind Dancer. I will eventually come down and grab Herbalism. But for now, I haven't really felt the need. I've also been kind of considering doing something a little bit wacky. And if I bring up monitor capture, boom, something sort of like this. And this could maybe be like a hybrid petrified blood setup, question mark? I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'll keep messing around with that. I'm not going to share that because I don't know what that'll be like, but there's lots of potential to do interesting hybrid things with trappers, especially if you start getting some of the cool ES recovery items or Tinker skins or whatever. But anyway, I'm Tarke. That's my day 3 Exhibition update. Let me know how you're finding things. Have a good day. Bye-bye.